Let's talk about love. Let's talk about who's in. Think about this. When is the last time that you found yourself writing a love poem at work? About work. Huh? I know. Honestly, look, in this industry, I didn't think it was possible either. I didn't. I will be the first to admit I was with you. And I don't mean the policy writers and providers, informers and insiders, you. I mean the real people sitting there wearing mortality beneath your suits and ties. You know, who have also lost patience with healthcare through a patient's eyes. Who have waited too long, right? Who have felt too unsafe, who have exhaled too many sighs that siphon from us our belief in the possibility of what healthcare can and should be, until eventually our definition of the words extraordinary care come to share space with the words pet unicorn, perfect world, and mile-high club. Cute ideas. Probably not gonna happen. Right? So I didn't think it was possible. I didn't. To find my soulmate. I had surrendered to the old ball and chain notion that providers are from Mars and patients are from Venus. I had pretty much written the healthcare industry off because healthcare was too stubborn, impersonal, kind of a stiff, keep it real, kind of a stiff. All of my healthcare dates were terrible communicators, right? Spent the whole time talking instead of listening, right? And they were so well learned in the mathematics of health that they had forgotten the humanities of care. So I did not think that a true healthcare soulmate was possible. And I'm going to admit, I was bitter. I was bitter about it. I was ready to start dating outside the industry, Tell my friends I was happy just dating myself for a while, But then I met someone. I did. Someone, how can I describe it? Unexpected. She entered the bar, a seductive susurrus, speaking in some exotic, altruistic tongue. "Who are you?" she asked. Now, accustomed to this routine, I barely looked up from my insulin and Diet Coke on the rocks as I pointed to my crinkled name tag clung to my chest. "Hi, my name is diabetes." Because it was Wednesday. Tuesdays, I'm heart failure, I think. Thursdays, I'm fertility. Weekends, I'm partial to obesity, but it was Wednesday, so diabetic. She responded, "No." "Who are you?" And I chuckled at her amateur attempt to engage me and tailor her communication to my individual segment. So I indulged, just enough to call her bluff. I told her that I am diabetic, asthmatic, anemic, epileptic, and occasionally neurotic. I have carpal tunnel, cavities, colitis, cancer, a curious mole on my left foot. I got high blood pressure, low blood sugar, high cholesterol, low iron, a high-pitched ringing in my ears. "No one hears that?" "Stop," she said, sliding her outstretched finger along a dried tear that had rivered the lines of my cheeks many hardships ago, and said, "Who are you?" You can't just be asking me personal. I'm a thug with it. I'm gangster with it. You ain't just gonna crack me open like. You got me. No, I exposed to her everything, the fragile, ugly of my every hurt, every atrophy that was rendering all of my possibilities inert. And in that moment, she did something, unexpected. She leaned forward. She fastened her eyes to mine and whispered me, "Beautiful. You are beautiful." She reached out, placed her palm in mine, and stilled the trembling. She held her arms out to hug, I'm coming in for it, big dog, to hug her chest against mine, but leaned to the right so that we met at the heart Huh? And then she performed a quiet miracle, the world's first soul transfusion, breaking off a sliver of her soul and placing it into my bloodstream until it dissolved on my breast, and I was hers, dude. Dog, she got me. I was hers. No, she got me. I was hers. Mind, body, heart, and soul. She is the person who can care me whole. So she has got me. She got your boy, dog. She did. I'm whoosh, right? I was whipped, sprung off of her, you know? And because this is everything that we all hope for in a relationship, you know? She listens with her eyes, speaks with her heart. I hate to sound all Dr. Phil with it, but she gives me quality time. She knows that creating a human-centered enterprise of care is about going beyond just learning the patient's name, but about learning things like historical reasons for their cultural distrust of hospitals, learning the socioeconomic impediments to their ability to follow a care plan, learning what stops them from continuing through treatment, learning how to read patients less like charts and more like poems, listening to the metaphors of their body language until you can interpret the unspoken scriptures that whisper the secrets to their treatment success. She knows that to lead differently, she must learn differently. See, she works hard to learn differently, learn new ways to change her behavior in order to earn my behavior change. Isn't this what we each deserve, to be comforted and healed? I mean, don't we all seek to be valued and heard and nurtured and fulfilled? Which is why I've come to make sure that your healthcare vows are still true, that your leadership vows are being renewed by taking you back to when the job was new, when the love was new, when the love poems you wrote at work, about work were true, when healthcare was still your new boo. Huh? You remember new boo. Don't act like you don't remember. Some of y'all got a new boo right now. For some of y'all, it's been decades, but we're going to go back there. Let today be the day that you proudly reaffirm your love affair with healthcare. Let today be the day that you begin sharing with each other the love poems you write at work, about work. Health is a basic human right that should be accessible to all. That health should not have a zip code. It should not have a tax bracket or a skin color. Health should not have a gender, a religious affiliation, or a political party. Trust, true and enduring wellness should be available to all and provided with all in mind. But to do that, the word health alone was too passive within the dormancy of a noun. That is, until it came into contact with the word care. Woo! The belief in health needed the act of care, the verb that put health's noun into action, as the collision of these words and the chemical interaction caused an irreversible chain reaction, infecting a population with a contagion of compassion, like a pathogen that evolved into a continuum of care that invaded new hosts and then grew into acts of service and giving on cue. And this strain of caregiving has been traced back to you. There are no faceless ghosts in your beds. Everyone that you make rounds for is pulse and thirst and trembles. Everyone that you change bed sheets for is name and saliva and families. Everyone that you care for is hope and belief and crossed fingers and please. Please. When you lead, give me humanity. Please, when you When you lead, give me passion. When you give me leadership, give me love. And not that typical healthcare siloed, bland, ordinary love, but that hospital staff's hospital-wide hospitality love. That everyone bringing health to everyone you see love. That laughter delivered like flowers to patients in IC love. That billing pays it forward and legal fights for me love. That advocates reaching out to the community love. That trees carved with HR, hearts, IT love. That love notes with check yes or no, do you like me? Love. That yes, always checked for how healthcare can be. Love. That bold and brave and bursting with possibility love. That I ain't afraid to start the day with a little poetry love. Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you for the work that you do.